That's my studio.
Hello everyone, welcome to Saturday. I'm glad you're here, and we've had an interesting week, a week where we've got through this crazy Americanized sale that everyone's had, Cyber Monday and Black Friday and all that sort of stuff, and hopefully your bank account's still got a little bit of money left in it. And we've also seen these monoliths appear. I don't know what the hell is that all about, but anyway, this show, you've come to the right place, because we're going to be showing all of your pics of your studio, and that's what it's all about. It's about you guys, and it's going to be exciting to do that. But before we do, I think we need to introduce everyone in the team that's here. We've got a bit of the original crew here this week. So we'll start off first with welcoming back Lisa. How you going, Inky? Good to see you back.
Yeah, I'm doing well. It's lovely to be home again, isn't it? Yeah, I'm great. How are you, Rans?
Yeah, good. Fantastic. And I'm glad you've come back, and I've seen you've been busy with your jams and videos and things like that, so that's all been going well for you.
Yeah. Well, it's always it's spontaneous, so it's nice when it happens, because you can't really force it. So the fact that there's any videos is a good thing.
Yeah, well,
so
it's obviously
that's good. Yeah,
good to see you being creative. That's for sure. Absolutely. Okay, we also have Andy. Nice to see you, Andy. How's your week been?
Yeah, hi Ramsey. Hi everybody. I've been obviously had 2 weeks off work. We've not been very well, so I've had a full week back at work, which has been quite nice. It's still crackers at school, but other than that, not much to report really. As the purchase, the Black Friday purchase of last week has not yet landed, which is a bit frustrating. But never mind. We just have to wait until it does get here.
I'm sure it'll arrive.
Plenty of other things to play with in the meantime.
That's the TD3, if anyone's wondering, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it was the TD. Everybody in the world went out and bought a TD3 on Saturday morning last week.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, well, hopefully that arrives next week. And big hello to you, Darren T. Housey.
Good day.
No one's going to work for that.
It's my monolith.
The monolith.
that's brilliant.
That's me.
It's you. It's been you all this time.
Yeah, good one. Not bad. Working on the studio as usual. So, yeah, I like the triple E's at the end of my name. That's good.
Oh, you're working that out in a sec. Don't worry.
There's 4 of them, Darren.
4 E's.
Yeah, no, I've just noticed. Well, actually, there's 5 if you include the one at the end, but
Yeah.
shows you my
That's one
eyesight's
each.
bad. I'm gonna have to get a bigger screen.
All right. If you're wondering why you got E's on the end of the name, it's very, very stupid joke for me, because you've got Ramsey, you've got Andy, Inky, and then you've got Darren T. Housey. I just had to do it. Sorry. Other than that,
that's right.
we will just move right along.
Done it. I was going to say he's a good. He's going to. Yeah, Robbie's got it in the chat already. Well done, Robbie.
He's a good boy. Rightio. Okay, this button here should take us to saying hello to all the chatties that have joined us for the show. Big hello to everyone that's there. There's a small group. So obviously you didn't invite your mum this week. Starting off with Vigoo. Big hello to you. Thanks for the photos. We'll show them a bit later. ASIO Head's here. Hello to you. JP Page 2, Sasquatch. Big hello to you guys. JX3D, always nice to have you, mate. Mike Delik's there. Who else we got? Mr. Mac, good to see you, buddy. And sorry about your Pro 1. Hopefully we can remedy that somehow. Norman Fernandez, keyboard player. Awesome to have you back. Haven't seen you for a while, so it's good to see you back again. Hopefully the COVID hasn't hit you too hard. Sergio is good. Good to see you, buddy. It's there. Jamie Geosynth's there. Good to see you, mate. Always nice to have you. Val Muso, which is Robbie. Good to see you, buddy. And I know there was a few others that popped in. I'm just going to scroll down a bit because you guys have been chatting very, very heavily here, which is always awesome. And if I've missed anyone, as I say each week, just throw your synth at the screen and discuss, because we can't have that. But I think there was a Richard there, and I think there was a couple of others that X101, big hello to you that's just popped in right at the last death knock before I'm about to go on to the next segment. Anyway, it's good to have you all. And yeah, jump into chat, say hi. Now, just while we're here on this kind of setting here, this is our little sort of socials area. Don't forget, I've got a Discord server below. I do push it each week. I want to grow that. This is where our discussions that happen after the show can continue on. So that's how you get to it, bit.ly/Ramsey Discord. Easy one to remember. And you can see there's a couple of people already in there trying it out. So please jump onto that. It's free. It won't bite. And for all those dinosaurs out there that don't like new technology, you should try that one. Discord's a pretty good one. It's one of those non-destructive type social media platforms, which I like. Ones that don't throw ads in your face and steal your information and send it to someone else. They're always the good ones, right? Moving right along, we should hit this button here because we've got some segments to get through and we should get through them nice and quick. Start with this one. Yes, it's funny side, and apparently stranger things do happen. When we try this, every week it always fails, but let's see if it works this week. Aha, there we go, look at that. Now, I got this one and I thought, how many of you out there have had a birthday cake with a synth theme before?
That's awesome.
It's pretty good, right?
That person really loves Matt, don't they?
Yeah.
They've really gone to some effort there. That's brilliant.
Jupiter
That's the best cake I've ever seen. I don't even like cake.
Yeah, it's got the champagne bottles below.
You say that.
Yeah.
Matt might have made it himself because no one bothered to make one.
Not with that writing. No.
Yeah. Well, there's birthday cakes, like a synth themed birthday cake. There's plenty of them out there that I have seen, but the funniest birthday cake have you guys ever seen? What's the funniest? I want to show you one that I've seen. It's pretty funny. I'm going to warn you right now, this is a bit rude. Dearie me, I'm being very naughty tonight. Now, lo and behold, you probably want to kill your mum if she did name you this as a child. Because when it does come to the birthday, you probably don't want... His name's Clint. Clint. His name's Clint. You just don't want.
Oh no, you don't see that, do you? No.
Anyway, back to the synth cake. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that one in there. Rightio, moving right along. We should probably get rid of that cake and go to the next one. How about this for a meme?
Yeah.
This one is awesome. Nick back to the future. PWM, we're going where? We don't need PWM. An erotic thriller. I'm embarrassed to say I cried a little at the end. Look out.
That's really good.
Gaz is looking at Nick there. That is so well done. That's probably one of the best memes I've ever seen. Just really, really well done. Even with the waveform up the top, it's good. Good. Let me just quickly find out what Robbie said in chat.
Yeah. He sent you a picture, actually, if you can get it in the Facebook live stream.
Oh, okay. That's nice. So that he did get this cake, did he? Okay.
Apparently, he said in the chat, and he said he sent you a picture. I've shut it down, so I haven't seen. So
let's see if we can get it. In the middle of doing memes, we will take this one off, and we will put this one on. There you go, Robbie. There's your cake. How's that? Instantaneous.
Oh,
stuff.
that's great too. Fantastic.
Oh, that's cool.
By the way, Robbie, big happy 50th for you the other day. I know I mentioned it already on Facebook. Big happy 50th for you, buddy. Big milestone to reach too, half a century. So well done. Did the calculator work on the right-hand side? Just out of curiosity. Fantastic. All right, we'll keep going. 1, 2, 3. This one here. People are angry that Behringer copied a MIDI controller. And the guitar fiddle company's like, Moving right along. And the last one. This one was good. We had this one submitted by JX3D. I thought it was an excellent one. Gas Alert Micro 5, the Gear Acquisition Syndrome Portable Detector. The text, if anyone within 3 meters proximity wants to buy some new gear. 5 scale shows gas levels for synths, drum machines, workstations, 08 modules, and other gear. What does it give you an electric shock or something if you get into watching too many YouTube videos or something? That was a good one. I like that one. Very, very good. I think we all need that at times. Quick reaction to the memes this week. Who liked the birthday cakes?
The cake was great.
Who wishes they were
It
called
was
Clint?
Nick Bat and Gaz Williams, wasn't it? It was the Back to the Future. That was very, very cleverly done. Really good.
Yes.
And of course, Robbie's cake. Robbie's cake was amazing. We loved your cake, Robbie.
We did.
Happy birthday for whenever it was. I'm sorry I missed that.
Oh, it was last week. Lisa, what was your favourite meme?
Well, I don't think the cakes were memes because they were just good. But yeah, it's the Nick Bat one. Yeah.
Nick Back one? Yeah, it's a good one. Darren? Darren E?
Yeah, Nick Bat one, or the gas alert. Yeah, the gas alert
Gas alert. We all need that, don't
detector.
we? I reckon that's almost a product worth inventing, isn't it? That one.
It rates how much YouTube. Yeah, it detects how much YouTube videos of synths you've watched, and you can watch your bank account go live down in live time if you thought what you're watching till it's very in the red. Yeah, till you minus £3 million. You know?
I've got a wife that does that. Right, moving right along. We will hit this button because we have some news. Yes. News. Now, this week we've got, someone said to me, you don't show enough software. And I thought, well, okay, I'll show some software. And software, it has to be topical and it has to be recent, so I can't just show it just because someone's whinging that I don't show it. So, and I thought I showed software before, but anyway, let's not split hairs. I am a bit more of a hardware guy, I will admit. This week we've got a couple of plugins to show you. Now, there is some interesting things about these plugins. One of them is free. One of them is extremely cheap at the moment, but not always. It will go back up to its normal price soon, so you probably have to jump onto that if you like it. And the other bit of news is unrelated to software. And the other bit of news after that is unrelated to hardware or software. So, if I've got your attention, let's start with this one. Probably haven't, you've probably fallen asleep. Right. Now, this is not a new... we've seen this before. This is the Waldorf PPG Wave plugin. We've seen it before. What's so great about it? Well, what's so great about it at the moment is you can get it for 81% off. And you think to yourself, how do I do that? Well, all you have to do is just scroll down in the description of the video and you will see a link and you can get it. Now, the good thing about that link is, yes, it's an affiliate link and yes, it is related to me, but no, it doesn't cost you any more. And I get a little bit of a bonus from it. I've just put it in the chat room as well. So if you do want that, it's a good time to get it. But while we're looking at it, let's have a little bit of a watch of a video, just to see what it sounds like. Just whet your appetite. Brilliant, so playing that almost as good as me. The good thing about this plugin is it's actually very, very close, if not unpickable, to the original. And it is actually a Waldorf plugin, and you know, that's where this originally came from. It's a nice one. Seventh Dreams, it's called. So anyway, that is the Waldorf PPG Wave 3V, we'll call it. Now, don't worry, I am actually going to go and check this out a little bit later in the show. We're going to have the post-show, which happens around in about 45 minutes time. We'll have a post-show, and I'm going to launch this, and we'll go and check it out a little bit closer. So if you're still worried about how cool this is, it's actually a really, really good plugin. And I don't usually boast about plugins, but I just think this one's good. I mean, I bought it, so there you go. Right, next one is this one. Yes, those Jean-Michel Jarre lovers who always wanted the drum machine that was on Oxygen. Well, you don't need to go and buy it. For a start, they don't make them anymore. But this one is actually a really good... Now, this is not the first plugin that they've brought out modeled after the MIDI Pops. This is probably the fourth or fifth one that I've seen. But the good thing about this one is, A, it's free, and B, it is actually a... instead of it being a sampling-based sort of drum machine, this one is actually a synthesis-based one. So all the sounds are actually modeled after the original MIDI Pops. And when I show this a bit later on, I'll actually show you how you can go in and you can go crazy with your sounds. You can actually modify them and everything. So it's actually really, really cool. But we do have a little video. So let's turn that off, turn this on, press play. Now I'll get towards the end because you can have a really good listen to it here. Let's turn this up a bit. And he's also showing a lot of his other plugins in that video as well. But I will link the video in the description if you do want to go check it out. But don't forget, later on in the show, in the post-show, we'll be checking out the BucketPops as well. That's pretty cool. So that one was free. The other one was 80. The Waldorf one was 81% off. So that's how much discount you're going to get on that one. Now, what's next? This one's a bit of hardware. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Boom. Bastl. This one's interesting. Wrong button. There we go. I am pretty intrigued about these, actually. These are kind of little, tiny little modular sort of style desktop drum machines. And you can see they've got little knobs. It's kind of a little bit Volker-esque in their ways. Kind of similar to the Volker modular you'll see in a minute. There is a video. Let's check out the video.
Bastl Kastle Drum is glitchy modular drum machine that fits into your pocket. So how do you make rhythms without any buttons or programmable sequencer? You discover that.
All right, we get the idea. So yeah, the Bastl B drum or Kastle. I kind of, it's a new approach, I think. And what I like about it is, let me just turn all the mics back on because they were all muted. It's kind of discovering beats by happy accidents, really. That's kind of their take on it. There's no sequencer. Instead, it focuses on algorithms and it's modular in its design. It's battery powered and fits in your pocket. Obviously, you saw in the video, it's quite small. Drum engine is a dynamic acceleration charged envelope with a VC clock generator and a step pattern sequencer. So it's kind of an interesting sort of marriage of different things there. And obviously you can clock from another device like they showed in the video, or you can have a triangle LFO. You get 8 drum synthesis styles, decay, time, pitch control, and headphone out. Plus you also get 2 in-out ports as well. So yeah, that one is very interesting. Now, I deliberately went through all 3 very, very quickly because I just wanted to sort of grab each one of you separately, and we'll start with Darren. Darren, out of those 3, which one kind of piques your interest the most? And why?
Well, I would have probably gone to the Waldorf because I do like that.
Yep.
But at the moment, I'm not getting any plugins because of changing around. If I have to change around computers, I don't want to load up and having to get everything over to another computer. So the little Bastl thing, I think it's a really cool idea, and I like the way its new approach, the way it works. The only problem is, it's a shame they don't make a bigger one because, as I said earlier, I can't even see this 14-inch screen in front of me. So trying to get those little pins and the knobs on that, I've got no chance. But I do like the Bastl thing, but I don't. I mean, the way you can put it in your pocket, take it out, do little things, sitting around and play about it, I think it's great. But I just think my eyesight's not good enough. So I could have a big pair of glasses, I might be all right, but then I'd look a bit weird, I think, sat on a park bench with some big glasses on, fiddling about between my legs with that.
You can always get contact lenses, though. You don't have to wear glasses. You have heard of contact lenses, right?
Yeah.
Darren, no, you didn't say that.
Oh, I'm going to quickly go to Lisa
Go
because
to Inky, please.
we need to.
I'm not, I can't say it. I'm saying the little box. You mean
The Bastl,
the Bastl thing?
Yeah.
And tiny wires. I really liked it, but I don't like tiny wires. I prefer chunky wires.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the idea because that's the kind of thing I'm into. But
Just stop it.
I think
I'm going to have to mute those two in a minute. They've lost it. All right, they're muted.
so
Darren's fallen off. Inky, I'm just letting you know right now. You can't see it, but Darren's actually fallen off his chair. Actually, let's just show you. He's just fallen off his chair, and he's completely lost it. And Andy is wiping tears from his eyes right now as we speak. Right, back to you, Inky.
it's so unprofessional, aren't they? Yeah, I like using my Neutron as a drum machine. In fact, that's what I've really only done with it.
Yeah.
Creating drum patterns. So the idea of the Bastl thing was great, but tiny wires and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for me. Right. Okay. Andrew?
Andy, you ready?
Yes, I'm calm.
Okay, here we go. You're up.
Yes, I'm
Out
very
of the
ready.
three that I showed, which one?
The PPG. Absolutely. Not that I'm going to be bothering. I've always been a bit wary of things like that because I'm not sure that my computer's the one that's sitting in front of me now is really up to running loads of these things. But it just reminded me that years and years ago, I mean, we're talking 2002, around the year 2000. It must have been because it was a guy called Tom Howard who was part of Chillage People, and at the time we were recording the album, we got these Macs, and he got, and I'm pretty sure it was the GeForce software version of the PPG. He bought that, and we were running it on the Mac G3, and I just remember being utterly amazed that you could have this PPG just sitting on your screen, and it sounded amazing. So I mean, if it's the fact that this is Waldorf and it's got the heritage behind it too, and I think that's a really good thing. So I'll find out how much it is. If it's not,
it's
$29.99
US. So it's usually $156 US. Yep, and it's down to $29.99.
Well, it even on my little crappy computer, it might be worth a punt because I do love those sounds. They're very much nostalgic sounds to me. They're the sounds of a lot of 80s synth music and Tangerine Dream's 80s albums, and so I'm very taken with that. I quite cheerfully spend a bit of money on one of those, I think.
But the link is
Not
in the
saying
video.
that I'm definitely going to, but I'll have a look. Yeah, well, I'll have a look and check it out definitely. So,
Cool,
but
cool.
that gets my vote.
All right, and just so you know too that the Bastl is only €90 too. So that's also all three of these products are under $100. So that's pretty good. Darren, behave yourself.
Yeah, that's pretty good indeed.
Right. Okay. Now the last bit of news, we should go back to here and down to 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, and this is I reckon this is actually pretty cool. So for those of you that actually do get involved in making some sort of project, and there's a few people that are regulars on my channel that are in this boat. The MIDI Innovation Awards is on, and it's time now if you're into sort of innovating in MIDI and things like that. So musicians included, it's not just inventors, it's a unique opportunity to present your ideas on a global virtual stage, as well as win valuable prizes. The first prize is going to be more than $10,000 US and includes an exhibition booth at the 2022 NAMM show. Notice that it's 2022, not 2021. TEC Award sponsored benefits and product advertisement as well. So one prize will also be awarded by public vote as well. So they'll have like a panel, they'll award the top prize, and there'll be a public sort of like a people's pick type one. Now, there is a link to this if we want to check that out, and it will be in the video description below later. musichackspace.org, and it's called the MIDI Association Music Hackspace. It's going to be really, really good. So definitely worth checking out. Any of you guys want to know more about that? I guess I can tell you. Is that sort of something that you want to get involved in? Like, it's not just about innovating technology and things. It's also innovating in music as well. So if you've got ideas about MIDI, you don't actually have to go off and design it. You can actually put it onto a piece of paper and, you know what I mean? Like, come up with the idea. Wouldn't it be cool if I could do this with MIDI and, come up with some sort of innovative idea? It doesn't have to be, something like the Blue Arp has already been built. It doesn't have to be that. It can just be an idea.
MIDI shoes. MIDI shoes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I've always thought, we use our hands. Well, if you can dance, why wouldn't you use your feet more?
Yeah.
You've got two limbs there that can work in time, or a drummer. Why wouldn't you use them? Why don't we use more to do with our feet?
Well, you can.
But yeah. So yeah, that's an idea. Probably have to work on it a lot, wouldn't I? But yeah, it's a great competition though for serious ideas. I mean, it's a great place to get your idea that NAMM's involved, and that you'd get a stand at NAMM. For anybody who's really got a serious idea, that's a great opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Now, I was going to show you guys the website because I can. I'm just getting the information copied across to this other computer here. Just give me a sec. And we will go to here, and then here, and then paste. Here we go. Right, now, where's my thing gone? There it is. All right, so Music Hackspace, this is the website that talks about it. So they're talking about MIDI being the center of music technology since '83. MIDI 2 is poised to repeat the success of MIDI 1 and the further development of MIDI for artistic impact and also for ideas. So musicians and creative inventors, I've already read that bit. Where are we? Awards are open to individuals, artists, and companies who work with MIDI to build innovative products or interactive experiences. So, Inky, your shoes could be an interactive experience. So, submissions of existing commercialized products are eligible, as well as innovative prototypes and art installations. So, you've got until the 21st of January to get your entries in. It's a fair, it's a couple of, about 6-7 weeks? So it's a fair bit of time. You could make some MIDI shoes as a prototype. But anyway, there's the information. Like I said before, it'll be in the description below if you want to go check it out. And if you're one of these people that has an idea, all you have to do is prototype it. You don't have to go and get it made and have it all functioning and that. You just have to sort of get the idea to a point where someone can at least visualize it and understand what you're trying to communicate, and then submit that. And then you never know, that could then go further. It could go deeper. So I just think it's worth mentioning on the show anyway. That was all for the news. You guys want to make any comments about the MIDI Hackspace Awards? Anyone other than Inky's already had one? Go, Andy or Darren, or shall we move on?
I'll just repeat what Inky said. It's a great idea for getting ideas out there. yeah, good idea. I think there's got to be
Fantastic.
lots of ideas from people out there that you wouldn't even thought of. So for somewhere like that to sort of take those ideas on board, I think that's great.
I think a lot of people will be watching this. That would be my kind of take on this, because this was actually pointed out to me by someone who's right in the know with this kind of part of the world. So they, the manufacturers will be watching, and if you never know, you could get yourself into a really good situation where you've got your product up and running. All right, we move right along. We will go to our third and final segment of our standard segments, and that is Price Watch. Yay! Ooh. Whatever. Right, first one off the ranks is Akai Timberwolf. I haven't had an Akai Timberwolf yet. So $500 US for an Akai Timberwolf. Now, okay, so this is not me saying this is a scam or anything like that. What this is this is probably the indication or the evidence I'm starting to see, and I thought I'd bring it up, and Mr. Mac is in the chat, he'll probably go, told you so! These are now actually starting to fetch higher prices, these synths. So whilst everyone rubbished it and pooed on it when it first came out, and then Akai stopped making them, and they pulled their new ones off the line, and so whatever's out there, there's only a limited number of these, and the prices are now starting to fetch reasonable prices. So, quick opinion or comment on that. It's a phenomenon that happens, isn't it? Someone will probably say, "Oh, yep, I knew it was going to happen."
Can I jump in on the Timberwolf runs? That's right. I was just going to say, I mean, I've actually played on a Timberwolf. A friend of mine actually had one, and the thing about it is it's very limited in its sound creating potential, but it actually does sound quite nice in itself. It's basic, but it sounds nice, and it's extraordinarily well built. It's heavy, it's metal, the keys feel really nice, and I'm not surprised that some people are going, yeah, why the heck not, and that the price is going up. I think $500 is still a lot of money, but it's not the piece of shit that people said it was. It's just limited, and I think that's its main problem. So I think as a sort of potentially a little cult machine, I think it's got quite a lot going for it. Would I want one in here? Well, you never know, but I mean it is quite. I mean, it's quite a big chunky box. I mean, I really mean it when I say it's well built. But yeah, well built but limited.
Can I put it to you, Andy, that not this actual one, but the Roland one when it first came out, the TV 303, was also
exactly
very limited, and it still is.
Yeah, it's always is. Yeah.
So why has this all of a sudden turned into a massive phenomenon? You know what I mean? So the Timberwolf could be one of those products. Yeah. Anyone else want to make a quick comment?
It doesn't have the character. You know, you wouldn't play it and go, "Ooh, that's a Timberwolf." Whereas the sound of a 303 is immediately recognisable, and that's its beauty, really, for everybody else, I suppose, and all the people who've made clones of it.
Yeah, true. All right, shall we have a look at the next Scandi? Yeah, Inky?
Yeah, I didn't really like the sound of it, but I'm also thinking, do you think it just came out at the wrong time? I mean, it was kind of out before the big analog resurgence, wasn't it? I mean, wasn't it before the Arturia stuff? Like the Mini Butte?
No, it was after Arturia.
It was all about the same time.
It was after.
And the Korgs had brought out the Volcas and things like that. It was up against competition that simply sounded better and was more convenient. So
yeah,
that's it then.
You had your Volca monotrons and all that sort of stuff first. Then the Arturia stuff came out. Yeah. Then more Volcas came out. Then you had Base Station 2 come out, and then these came out after that.
Right. Yeah. So
that's kind of your timeline.
So yeah, and they're all about the same price, and especially the last three. So it just didn't sound as good as that, did it? Yeah. And everybody chose. So
that was
that's it.
that was the sort of grouping of budget analog monos in that sort of that period of time, like sort of 2013 to 2015, that sort of period of time, right? And then whilst all that was happening, you still had your Moogs. So they had the slim fatty, then they had the sub fatty, then they had the sub. You know, they were still bringing, but they were priced higher, so they were kind of a different market. And then you had your Dave Smith stuff, and you know what I mean. So there was still, and there's Eurorack happening as well. So there were still things going on that, but there this sort of grouping where you had the Akai, the base station, the Arturia, the Volkers, they were sort of all in that sort of budget priced sort of range, and that's what got people back into analog, because it had to be the price to get them on the platform, didn't it? Yeah.
And it certainly worked. I know a lot of people who started jamming like 2016.
Yeah.
An awful lot of people I've met started jamming in 2016 out of nowhere.
It's the magic
including
year.
me.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's the magic
it was
year.
like, well, you know, I don't know what it is. Everybody, because you don't just see gear and buy it. You've got to think, oh, I want to make music in a different way, and I'm sick of the computer. So there's a whole load of people doing that, and a whole load of products waiting to be bought at reasonable prices. So yeah, great times. Great times.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we'll go on to the next one. I think there was only two. This one, yes. My favourite. Everyone knows I love picking on the SH-101. But this is kind of just really just cementing the voice that I've always carried with this, and that is that the Behringer clone never affected the prices of these. And here's more evidence. So here is a, I think it's, God knows where that is. 2,000 euros, I guess.
So it's in Switzerland.
Yeah, it could
It's
be.
in Switzerland. It's 2,000 Swiss francs. I've no idea how much 2,000 Swiss francs is. Wagyu, how much is
quite
2,000 Swiss
Yeah,
francs?
yeah.
That would be cheaper than euros, I'm sure. That would definitely be cheaper than euros, unless I'm wrong. But someone could tell us in chat. But it's just proving really that these are still selling for, you know, a decent price. And remember,
Oh, he said it's about 2,200. He said it's about $2,200.
There you go.
So that's quite a lot then.
About £1,000. Cool. There you go. So if you do, you know, if you're sort of thinking to yourself, Behringer are wrecking the market with all these, you know, clones and that, they're not.
£1,670.
There you go.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you and I probably wouldn't go and buy an SH-101 at that price, but Darren's sitting on one, and he's probably thinking to himself, maybe it's time I sold it to get that Moog 1 that I always wanted. Anyway, fantastic. Okay, we have reached the best part of the show, and that's the part of the show which you guys are probably here for, and there's not that many of you here, but that's okay. We're a bit of a boutique show. Now I've got to get my mouse all the way over here. There we go. Here. So I'm trying to run a mouse over a network type thing, and you guys will know how tricky that can be at times. Right. So this part of the show, we are going to be doing the subscriber studios, I called it, which is basically you guys send me a picture of your setups and we will show it on the show. It's pretty simple. Now, we've done this before, and when I did it, everyone said they loved it. So even with the crappy technical issues I had trying to show these pictures. Now, I've tried really, really hard to sort of overcome these problems that I've got with showing images whilst streaming, and probably half of the problem was that I don't like Preview on Mac. I think it's an absolutely shit piece of software. So I've gone and installed something else called QView, and hopefully this works better. Now, how we're going to go is we're going to kind of, I can zoom in. Yay, it works. Look at that. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm just using...
I wonder if I can guess. Can we guess whose studio we think it is?
It's got their name on it up the top, so it's going to be a bit.
Oh, I got.
Yes, it has. Yeah. Yeah, it's Tom's.
But I
Tom.
Yeah. I was gonna guess John. So.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
John Dublin, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, John Dublin, and I don't think he's in the stream, but this is he actually sent this in a day after we did the one last time, and I promised him that I'd show it. So he's got the TR 8S, I guess that is. That looks like a TR8S.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like that Pioneer.
That's the yeah,
That's the Torres, is it?
Has he got two of them?
Yeah, S1. Yeah, he's got two of them.
And then he's
Two
got the
S1s, nice.
and then he's got the
Squid.
Is that the squat
squid?
pyramid? Squid.
Yeah, squid.
Squid. Then he's got the Deep Mind, a Boss audio interface, the Quasi MIDI, bit of
Quiz MIDI Technox. Oh, there's a blast from the past.
XV5050 expansion, and the Waldorf Q.
Nice.
So that's just a very
nice.
kind of simple
Nice
and basic setup.
and a Casio
And the
VL-tone.
Casio VL, yeah.
Is it a
Is that on
live
his bed
setup?
like my stuff?
Sorry,
He
now
does-
say again.
Darren,
I said, is that on his bed like all my stuff is?
it looks like a bed.
It might be.
Yeah, it does look like a bed. But just so you guys know, he's done over 350 tracks, publicly commercial released, and he said most of it's done on
He's
this,
also-
this gear.
He's also done a couple of albums in the last 2 days. He's released them, and they were quite
So the point I'm trying to make to everyone who was actually hearing me sort of say, send your pics in. This guy's got his gear sitting on a bed. You know, your studio doesn't have to look like some of the other ones that we're about to see. It can just be humble like this. And the fact that Tom is a massive high-end producer, he produces really good music and he does a lot of it. I think it's really, really cool. So there you go. We'll go to the next one. It's good you guys are talking in the background too, because everyone can hear you. So keep the comments going. Now, in that we'll go back to the chat room in a sec, but we'll show Andy's. Now Andy's here, so it's good that he's here.
Wait. Ooh.
So because you always see Andy sort of, and you see the stuff from the side. So now you can see from the top.
The same angle.
Yeah. So you can see his Akai MPC one, and he's got his Pro one to the left of that. He's got his little Volca stack over on the left. That's a nice little Volca case. I like that. He's got his
Yeah, got that
other
from
Volca
Synths and Wood.
on the right-hand
It was a
side as
birthday
well.
present.
Yeah. So then you got your Electribe 2
You got
and your SH01A boutique, and then under that is your Supernova.
That's right. Yeah.
and
then
an MPC on your stand. The nice MPC stand there.
yeah, it's a little laptop.
Have you got it
stand.
on?
Well, I had I've got the two. There's that piece of wood, which is a bit of IKEA shelving, and I've got two of those sort of laptop stands, which I got from Gear for Music, and just sort of clamp them to the bit of wood, and they're really convenient just for lifting things up. So originally I had the second Electribe where the SH01A is, and the SH01A was on
top, yeah.
on the actual stand, but I've just moved. I took the Electribe sampler out because I put the MPC in.
Yeah.
I keep moving the MPC out and going through, when I'm sort of learning bits on it. I take it out from there and go sit in the lounge and plug headphones in and do that. Then
On the left, you've got your Beat Step. Yeah.
Beat Step Pro in front of the computer keyboard. Yeah.
Yeah. You also
And
sent me
then
another pic here, which is
yeah.
sort of the left of your screen. So you got your mixing desk, your
That's it. Yeah.
your Korg
Microkorg.
Korg.
and this is your MIDI
Yeah,
your MIDI setup.
everyone's-
We've talked about this before. Your
Well,
MIDI
yeah,
setup.
that's the MIDI patch bay. That's the Kawai MIDI patch bay we were talking about a few weeks ago. Above that's it's not actually wired in. That's the what's it called? Freeform Analog Technologies FB383, which was like a 303 clone. They became MAB, so those little MAB 303 clone boxes, that it's the same electronics. I've no idea whether it actually even works. I haven't plugged it in for ages. A couple of Zoom effects units, which I've also had for a long time underneath that. Then next to
phaser
that,
pedal?
what's that? There's a Boss delay and an EMT10 little sound module which isn't plugged in, and a twin cassette deck which I was using to sort of
Is that a Pioneer?
digitize all my. It's a I don't know, what is it? It's actually a TIAC. It's a TIAC twin
There you
cassette
go.
deck. Yeah, I've had it years, but I just plugged it into. I was at the start of lockdown, I started digitizing a load of my really old recordings. And it just amazed me how shit many of them were. But I still went through all of these tapes and sort of recorded them into Audacity to save it. And it's just still sitting there. I've not moved it out yet because it's and actually then to the left of that on the opposite wall there's a digital piano which doesn't get as much love as it should.
Yeah,
really.
You can just see the key. You can just see the key on the bottom of the photo there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just the bottom corner there.
Kind of show just down here. Cool. All right, moving right along. What else we got? ASIO Head sent his in.
Slick.
So we haven't seen ASIO Head stuff before.
No, that's very tidy.
Very tidy.
Oh.
Okay, gear recognition, people. So we've got a sub 37 at the top. What's the little thing to the right of it? The whitish looking box.
No idea.
Bit. What is that? That. I'm having fun.
Oh, that's interesting.
Anyone guess what that is in chat? ASIO's there, you can tell us what it is. So, anyone guess what the black synth below the sub 37 is? Come on.
System 8.
Yeah, System 8, beautiful.
Yeah.
And then below that, what do we got? What's that one?
Polyevolver. Is it the Dave Smith Evolver? Polyevolver?
Is it? Can't see, it's not zooming in enough. That looks like a Nord, some sort of
Nord
modular thing, yeah.
It's the Nord modular, that I think.
That's his Akai.
ASIO's just said it's the Polyevolver. It's the Dave Smith Polyevolver.
Cool. He's got the
and a Rubik's Cube.
He's got the Roland GR something or other guitar synthesizer pedal board thing down the bottom, and I think that actually the guitar itself is actually the one that is the Fender with the Roland, like actually Roland's, sent out the Fender with the Roland pickup on it. I'm pretty sure I've got the same one, so that's good. Beautiful. All right. Moving right along.
I like his cave painting.
What was the white box? Did he say what the white box was? Oh, it's an MIM beaker. It's one of those mutable instrument and beakers. Cool. Beautiful.
Ooh.
We shall keep going. Okay, you guys know Ben, who is on the Pro Synth Network.
Yeah.
Ben Simpson. He sent this in to me. Now, while we're speaking of Ben, he's going to be on the show next week. So you guys can welcome him. Now he's got, starting on the left here, he's got looks like a sub 37. Then he's got a Hydra synth, I reckon that is. And then below it looks like a V synth. Would you guess that would be a V synth? I think I wouldn't have a clue what he's got in his rack there. It's a bit hard to see. I don't know what that's.
There's a Waldorf there. You can tell from the red knob.
Yeah, that would be like a.
That's a Waldorf Pulse, I think, is it?
So there's a sequential. What would that be? Prophet
6.
Prophet 6, maybe. Not sure. It looks like he's got another V synth here, maybe. I'm not sure what that is.
Looks like it.
Yeah, and there's your mixing desk.
Rack.
He's got a JD 800 there. They're famous for the Super Saw. That looks like some sort of.
And a Korg micro preset.
Yeah.
It's the little Korg micro preset, I think. The M500, is that what it is? The OMD synth.
Ben's. Yeah, so the V-Synth XT, I was right about that V-Synth. So he's got 2 V-Synths. I don't know what that little thing here is. I think it's some sort of drum module, maybe. These are probably some sort of drum modules. Someone will be able to recognise those. Okay, so the Korg, it's a Z1.
I don't know.
The Korg synth is like a Z1.
I think it's part of a mixing desk module.
It looks like a
Something
pad,
to do with
though. Could be right. It's a very nice looking mixer.
It's a nice looking room.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, he's only recently done this too, apparently. So
yeah, he wasn't in that room, but it's lovely, isn't it?
It's beautiful. Very nicely done. Could be the Behringer X Touch they're talking about. All right, who else we got? Everyone knows Bo Beats. He sent this in to me. Now he sent I don't know if you guys follow him on his socials, but he sent this in to me before he posted this. So, because I asked him for it, and he probably thought, I might as well post it. But anyway, he's moving into a new studio as we speak, and this is all kind of unplugged and unfinished. So he was kind of asking me to let everyone know that some things aren't plugged in. But one of the things I kind of want to point out is he's setting, this is all brand new setup. So he's gone to a lot of effort to design and plan this out, and he's probably spent a good, I would say 3-4 months doing this. So I've got a few photos.
He's gone
to show
serious on it, hasn't he? Really?
He has, yeah. He's doing well for himself, so good on him. So nice acoustic treatments there. Very thick panels they are too, which is really good for absorbing if you're sort of doing a lot of acoustics in your room. So you can see these aren't plugged in, but there's his synth wall. And you guys can, a lot of new stuff. So he's got the Moog Matriarch, is it the Moog Matriarch? And up the top,
6.
yeah. And
Machina.
yeah,
XD.
is that the Machina Plus too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the plus, I think.
And he's got the 2 Arturia Matrix. He's got the Poly Matrix and the Mono Matrix, I believe. I think the other photo had it in. And there's another shot.
That's the Polybrute. You can tell from that touche thing on its left-hand side.
Yeah. Beautiful. Very nice looking studio. I think that was it for him. Now we've got Chris Synthient. Now I've got a couple of photos for you guys for
nice
him. You
picture.
would have seen him on the Pro Synth Network as well. Chris is a good guy. So Chris is kind of like a guitarist who's, always loved synths, and you can see that his synth love is growing beautifully. He's got some really, really nice synths in here. He's got the Juno 106, the Roland System 8, the OB6 beneath it, and forget what that synth is.
Boutique of some kind there.
Near
Is
his
that the
chair.
JX?
He's got modular over here. I'm not sure what that is. I can't remember what that synth is there. He has told me.
That's
Someone
a
will tell us in chat.
Matriarch.
Could be the Matriarch, yep. So he's got a little tip-top audio Mantras case there with some modular gear in it. He's got a modal synth up there, a Micro Freak. Nice setup with his guitar pedals and stuff. And obviously the Moog one there. Now, that's not all. He's also sent this photo in, which shows that's a Waldorf CV controller keyboard with Eurorack modules in it in the foreground. And there's all of his prized guitars, the Fenders, and what's that, a Les Paul? Is that a Les Paul? I forget what that is. And some beautiful amps and things in there as well. So if you're into guitars like he is, he's been doing guitars for many, many years. So there you go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Very nice setup. And, it's that is just like going back to the other photo. You can see that's just a bedroom that's been converted into a synth cave. So just in his house.
But it's a room that inspires. So although some rooms can look clean, that to me would inspire me to create music. Like the colours in it, the feeling of it, the feeling that you're not quite in this reality, you could be somewhere else. That to me is a good
his
creative
lighting's always lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, he closes those blinds as well because they black out all the light coming in as well, so it can darken the room up. So that's cool.
And I think that's important.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there. And that you can see on the right hand side, that's the banner that you see when you're watching him on the streams. It's kind of like that 80s style sunset thing. It's actually really nice. You see that everywhere now.
Yeah.
This is Danielle from Pulse Eternal. She's a synth person that I know in South Australia, and she's probably asleep now. But have a look at the modular gear. Look at the Yamaha organ and the TRS 80 or the Trash 80 as we call it. And you've got a Roland System 700 there on the right. So some really, really cool. She looks pretty pleased with herself too. Some really, really cool stuff there. Just thought I'd show you that. She does record to the TAC tape, reel to reel. She's a big, it's a .com as well there. She's a big, analog. What is that? A Roland SH5?
SH09, I think.
SH09? Yeah.
And then there's the System 100, and then is that big black module? Is that all the system? Is that a Roland System 700? Is it?
The grey is on the right of a shoulder.
That's the grey. The grey one is a The grey one is a System 100. What's the black? Is it the black one? Is that the system? That's the. Is that Roland?
I thought it was System 700. She's got a.
That'll probably be the black one then.
She's got a Voyager anyway, but just behind it.
Side.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Excellent. There you go. So yeah, system 700s are hard to get hold of too. So, right, who we got here? This is the illustrious Dazza from Down Under. We all know him as the Intergalactic Federation. He's cool. Probably snoring right now. Living over in the east coast of Australia. This is his setup. His setup's definitely. I've watched him grow with his setup over the years. Yeah,
he's been doing loads of videos. They've been really good too.
Yeah, he's been really good. So the latest additions to his setup have been getting the MX1, getting the RD808 from Behringer. He's now recently just acquired the System 500 modules, and you can see the little wooden where my mouse is there. That's a little wooden Eurorack case he's got inside that System 500 modules. And he also bought a BeatStep Pro as well to control it. And there's another photo here. So he's got like a Tascam.
Nice studio.
Yeah. And so he does his video editing on it. So I think it's a new laptop he got too recently, which is good. Another view there. And now we're into Jamie from Geosynths. We all know Jamie, and we've probably seen a lot of this stuff on his streams, but it's nice to we can zoom in and have a look around while we're doing it anyway. So this guy has got a massive amount of synths, and it'll probably take us all day just to go through them all. But sing out if you spot something there that is cool and you want to kind of look at it. I'll just go through. There's a few. He sent me a lot of photos, so I'll just scroll through. There's the Erebus down here. I love the Erebus. I've got to get myself an Erebus. We got this side here. So you've got the Hydrasynth. You've got the Summit underneath it. And then underneath that, you've got the Waldorf Quantum. And underneath that, you've got the Moog 1. To the right of that, up top, I think that's a Blofeld. And I think that's a VC340 on the top right-hand corner up there. Wouldn't be surprised if that is a Peak.
Isn't that the SVC? The thing that's the Streichfett with a keyboard on it, because it's got a microphone coming out of it.
Oh, it could be. You could be right. Yeah.
The gooseneck. I think
yeah, could be right. So. Looks like the Blofeld too.
Yeah, STVC. Yeah, it's just put that in the chat.
Yeah. So then you've got the Peak. You've got a Nord something electronic. I think you got a modal. I guess that would be the Argon 8. Next, that would be a Dave Smith. Below that would be another Dave Smith, and to the left of that would be the Iridium.
No, Kyra. Is it Kyra?
Oh, is it Kyra? Yeah, it is. You're right. It's Kyra. All right. And then you've got his Eurorack corner. Up the top, you've got Odyssey. I think that's a Behringer Odyssey because it's got the glowy LEDs. You got the Moog
and the
Grandmother.
LCD.
You got a lot of Behringer stuff here. So you've got your Wasp, you've got your Model D, you've got your Pro 1, your K2, and what is that?
The Cat.
It's the
Cat.
And then underneath you've got a whole bunch of Europe modules with an Arturia. That's the best. I reckon that's the best of the Arturia Mini Brute 2s. The one that's got the sequencer on it. I like that one. And you've got an Akai MPC 1 as well, next to the base station 2, and a lot of Behringer and Dreadbox modules in there.
And a Typhon.
Everyone wants to know what it looks like from behind the camera. that Jamie sits at his desk. There you go. There's a nice view of it for you. I've got a close up in a sec.
Nice.
So you can see all his monitors and his speakers and his mics and cameras and stuff there. But it's just nice to see. And there's a bit of a close up for you. So he's got same mic as me, NT1. Got the Rode Podcaster down the bottom. Prophet X sitting in the middle there. He's got the A10 Mini on the bottom right hand corner there, controlling the cameras. So it's a good little setup, and he's got a bit of outboard gear there too. Leipzig, wow. That looks like a DeepMind 6 or 12 desktop version. Sub 37 CV. Is that a subsequent? Yeah, that's a subsequent 37. Nice synth. Couple of guitar pedals. And just a bit more of a close up. So you can see his rack gear there. So if you're wondering what sort of audio interfaces he uses the Presonus Quantums, and he's got 3 of them. There you go. Let's keep going. This is I Will Create. We all know Will. He's been on the show before. He's in the US. Big hello to Will if he's joining. It's probably still asleep. He stays up late, Will does. But he's been doing a lot of live streams, so you guys probably, if you've watched his streams, would have been familiar with all the gear he's got. But it's just nice to see it. Nice little drum kit in the corner at the back there. He's got the what do you call it? Ableton Push. I think that's a Push 2, is it? I can't remember how to tell.
Yeah, it is.
That's a really nice mixing desk he's got there. And then he's got the Novation controller. He's got the Deluge. Above that is the Akai Force. Then he's got his modular stuff. Then he's got his MPC X. That looks like a MS-20 Mini and some sort of sequential desktop. Looks like it may be a Prophet 6, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's a Prophet.
What else we got? Oh yeah, you can see here now. So it's a Prophet. And yeah, it's a nice little view. Now we got Megamark. He's probably not in the chat. He's probably asleep. He's another one from Australia. Tetra, from 4-voice little desktop thing. That was one of the early sort of affordable mono synths, or not really. It's polysynth, isn't it, that one? That was one of the affordable ones. A lot of people were kind of buying those. It's got that bit of a Prophet sound to it. We got controllers. What else we got? Top left-hand corner. Some sort of Yamaha.
Is that Boss drum machine? Oh, it's a Yamaha one.
Yamaha. Is it
Drum
RY30? I think it's an RY30. So if Robbie's in there, you'll probably be able to identify it. He knows those. Novation controller. They're really good. I wish they'd still did those. I really, really wish they still did those, because one of the things that those Novation controllers do is they send SysX, and you can actually program the SysX into the actual unit. You don't need a computer, and sometimes it's really handy to be able to do stuff like that. It's got a strike fit there too. Look at that. And like I said, you don't have to have the neatest looking studio.
Wow.
But for him,
wow.
It's all
that's proper stuffed in, isn't it?
all at finger touch, right? Better be able to reach it.
Oh man,
He's got more mixy slidey things going on there. That's amazing.
Oh man, it's yeah. I suppose it's cool when you're actually sitting in it. Like the equipment is like part of you, isn't it? But
when the lights are
Can I
on,
just point out
probably
that,
looks better with the lights off, I'd say.
can I point out that mixy slidey stuff is a technical term?
Do you want me to go back, Inky?
Yeah. I'm just feeling sorry for that poor on the right hand side, that orange,
Yes.
whatever it is, that
that would be
one's ever going to get to.
That's a Waldorf.
That's not being used, is it?
Q. That's a Waldorf Q. Can anybody spot the Akai Timberwolf sitting there as well?
Yes.
Not Timberwolf, Rhythm Wolf.
Rhythm Wolf, yeah. Up the top, on the right hand side. I'll move the mouse. There.
Oh, yeah. I get it, yeah.
All right, let's go to
spot that.
Ralph.
Yeah,
We all know Ralph from Germany. Borg Myrtle.
Oh, that's nice.
He's got a beautiful setup. Notice
yeah.
Notice the
Lovely.
Oberheim in the foreground, just behind the camera there. He's also got an original ARP 2600 from the
Original
1970s.
ARP.
He's got some really, really nice gear. So now he's actually just recently got the Behringer ARP 2600 as well, and he did a video where he was comparing the two. So if you're interested, check him out. There's another photo from a different angle. So it's got a M50, a Korg M50, a Roland.
Ooh, VP330. The original vocoder.
Yeah, Elka down the bottom.
Yeah.
There's an Elka thing there. I wonder what that is. I don't think it's a Synthex, because I'd know if he had a Synthex.
No, it's a sort of string machine thing that he's got. Makes some quite interesting sounds on it.
Yeah, and he's also got
He's also,
Darren, notice the
also got-
Roland MC303 in the top corner.
Yes.
So anyone that owns an MC303 is a good person.
That's a 505.
5, yeah, I was going to say that's not a 303.
Is it a 303 or 505?
Yeah, it's 505. Yeah,
Oh,
anyone
303
knows?
has the.
Anyone owns a 505 is a good person too. Because I've got a...
I sold mine. I
sold
don't
them.
know.
Well, you had
Yeah,
one, so
yeah.
you're still a good person. All right, let's
That's
move on.
that's a nice Oberheim. Yeah.
Shall we move on? It's got...
Oberheim
do
2 voice, whatever.
you guys spot the boutique? The Roland boutique there? The
yeah.
SEO2.
Yeah.
It looks dwarfed next to the ARP 2600, doesn't it?
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, I think so.
Look at the size difference. Wow. It just goes to show you the size of that room. Because, you know, they're not that small either, really. All right, what else have we got? Okay, this guy is called Stolen Toast. He's also a regular on our channel.
Cool.
And he just thought he'd show his stuff. So he's got the Arturia key step. Is it the key step? Yeah, it's just the key step. Nice monitor. Nice monitor with the JUP8V from Arturia, I think it is, isn't that one? Yeah, Arturia. Nice bit of VST stuff going on there. Studio Logic, don't know what that is. Maybe it's just a controller. Someone else will be able to identify in the foreground down the bottom here. Up the top here. Can anyone identify what that is up there? What is that?
That's a wave
Next-
state,
Is it a wave state?
isn't it?
Is it? Could be.
I don't know. Is it? Is it? What? Yeah.
I actually wouldn't know because you can't actually tell from here. But I would say it's
It's Korg. It's Korg
definitely
wave
Korg.
state, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it says wave state. You can see it says wave state there. Well done. And
Well
you got
done,
And
yeah.
then there's
Neutron,
a nice Electribe.
Electribe. What's this here?
That's an XD.
Minilog
Korg.
XD.
Yeah.
Nice. And
Yeah.
we've got the
And a Brute.
Matrix Brute.
Matrix Brute.
Couple of
Some
Volkers.
Volkers underneath.
And an SHO
yellow one, I
on
told you,
it.
yellow one.
Tucked under the zone.
Yeah, yellow ones suck. They don't
No,
sound
that's
good.
a cake, Darren. That's just a cake sitting there waiting to be eaten.
That's Clint's cake.
Hey, yellow ones sound mental. The other colours are all the same.
He did
Does it
send me
sound better?
He did send me another photo, so we can actually identify some of the things a bit better. There's a Zoom R8 there.
Volker.
Jeez, I showed
He's
that
got the
not that long ago on the show. the
Volker
Zoom
bass, a Volker kick.
R8. Volker kick,
Yeah,
I got one
wicked.
of those. He's got that Volker kick
Yeah.
going through the Behringer vintage delay pedal.
Cool. That's a cool little setup, that.
That's nice. I like that.
You know, just
Yeah.
you can tell that's a workspace for him, can't you?
You know
Like,
what?
he's
Though?
just jamming out on that.
Yeah.
That synth there, the Minilog XD, without a doubt, is probably one of the best synths that Korg ever made.
Well, it's cropping up all over the place, isn't it? It's very,
It's a
very
really,
popular.
really good synthesizer. It's got, because you can actually upload your own the digital, but you can upload your own oscillators. But it's also got a standard MIDI log in there as well. So the MIDI log that I own is in there. Plus, it's got that extra digital user oscillator. And now that's like Cinevibes are out, and you can do things like FM and 4-operator FM. It's insane. It's insane. That's it. Great value for money. Anyway, they're really cheap at the moment too. So
you know the effects on the Korg NTS1? Can you put those effects in the mini log? I gather that you
apparently,
can.
Apparently you can, yeah.
It's got the same ones. It's the same thing apparently.
Yeah, but it didn't come out with those. I'm not sure.
No,
I
it didn't
think,
come
but
out
yeah,
with them.
okay.
No. So you can now,
Right.
but at the start it didn't. No. And then at the start,
Yeah, cool.
it was kind of a bit light on, and they weren't sure how people would adopt it, but it looks like it's been adopted well. All right, moving right along.
Cool.
This is Todd Smith. You guys will probably know Todd Smith. He's got his own YouTube channel, and I feel really bad because I talked him into buying that Blofeld synth, but he loves it, so that's good. It's a great synthesizer, the Blofeld. Good digital VA, lots of voices, multi-timbral. It's a workhorse. So and they're pretty cheap as well. And you can also do some fancy stuff if you want to get into it too. Now Todd is a big iPad musician. He records on iPad. He sequences. He uses the Korg Gadget iPad app. So he's a big iPad musician, but he also uses hardware as well. So let's have a look at his other gear he's got. Got a new 2D3 there, the black one. Got the Crave, the Model D, the Neutron, the Pro one. He's had, like me, he's had a micro Korg for years and years and years and years and years. And it's his favourite synth. He loves his micro Korg.
That's Todd.
There we go. And that's his little MIDI controller, the Alesis, I think it is.
Sorry. Just nipped out, but I know whose that is.
Yep. This is Wagoo.
Yay.
Oh,
Wagoo made it to the show. So we got the Waldorf.
Cool.
Beautiful. What else have we got? What's above that? I can't even see that. The light's reflecting off the screen. I can't see. He's got stuff all over it too. I can't see what it is.
Tell either.
Nord rack, Waldorf Q, and another Nord underneath, which we can't see. But he's in the chat. He can tell us what it is. And this is his rack. This is all his rack gear.
Yeah.
Oh, what is that, people?
Great, that.
That is the Behringer 2600. He's got it already.
And some 2500 modules too.
That's awesome, isn't it?
That is a really good segue for. I actually had a question I was going to ask the Brains Trust in the chat room about this. So, with the advent of this Behringer 2500 modules, right? One thing that we all know is when ARP in the 70s brought the 2600 out, they simplified the 2500 to make the 2600. So there's things that the 2500 can do more than what the 2600 can't do because they simplified it, right, to make it more affordable. But at the same time, they also change quite a lot of the circuits, so it does have a different sound. And the different sound will be partly because of the desimplification and also because of all the different modulation and routing options you can do with the 2500. But my question to everyone is, doesn't the Behringer 2500 modules really need that sequencer? You know, that because that was kind of the big thing about the 2500, wasn't it? It's a sequencer on it. You know, the whole matrix thing about it. And without that, what are we trying to achieve? It's not really going to be a full 2500 unless they bring something out that kind of emulates that or has that sort of capabilities. I don't know, just be interested in everyone's thoughts about that, because I really think the fact that they've brought out the 2500 modules is a big thing, because no one's done it really properly. So yeah, be cool. And they've done it almost perfectly.
I was going to say most of the size of the 2500 were these huge switch matrices for selecting and connecting via sliders. That was absolutely massive. So what they've actually done away with is they've done away with all of that matrix, and they've simply used ordinary patch cables. So you would simply patch using patch cords, and that will be a huge price saving, because it would cost the earth to replicate those moving slider matrices. Now, I mean, it costs, if you've seen those little pin ones that they do for the VCS3 type synths, they're ever so expensive, in their own right. So a huge, great big, massive board of all of these slide now, it would be just unworkable to create it. So we have to go back to ordinary patch cords, really.
Well, we do, but having said that, one of the things that I remember, and I could be, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was under the impression that the sequencer on the 2500 actually relied a lot on that matrix switching, pin board thing that you were talking about. So, it will kind of be difficult for them to get that, the roots of that, if they're not going to bring that back somehow. It's kind of where I'm coming from. You're right, you don't need the matrix pins anymore, but the sequencer did kind of rely on that a bit. Well, not a bit, a lot. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they come up with, if anything. But anyway, that's fine. You'll still get the sounds. You'll still be able to generate the sounds to a degree. Anyway, love that setup. It's beautiful. Let's move on. The Novation Peak. He's got the Deckard's Dream, which is the CS80. Prophet 8. System 1 up top. Well, go tell us what you think of the Deckard's Dream, because I've heard mixed opinions about it. Tell us what you think. Here's the Modor. I can't see it because of the shadow. Something NF1, M1. I can't really see what that says. It might be maybe if I zoom in.
Is that
NF1?
Is that an Arturia? Is that one of the original Arturia things?
The Origin.
The Origin. That's not one I know very well.
Did Arturia make the Origin? I think they did, didn't they? In the Waldorf.
Yeah, he said Origin. It's rare.
It is rare.
Excuse me.
The thing about the Origin, if I remember rightly, is it actually had so much potential, and it's one of those situations where a company kind of abandoned it and moved on to their next kind of fad, and it could have been really, really big, a bit like the V-Synth from Roland. It could have been a really, really big thing. Anyway, Access Virus. Is that a B or an A? It might be an A. Yeah, it looks like a Virus Classic. Yeah, beautiful. Model Model M 002R. Okay, so that was one of the first modal synths that came out. He's got the Argon 8, DeepMind 12. Beautiful. This one here. That looks like some sort of outboard effects type stuff. I actually don't know those products at all. Someone will tell us what they are. Since there you got a Novation Supernova. There's the rack mounted version of yours, Andy.
Yep. In fact, I think that came first.
Did it really? Okay. All right. Next one. We're back to the start. Yay, we got through it all. Beautiful. Ooh. How long did that take?
It's slightly voyeuristic, isn't it?
It is voyeuristic.
In a very nice way. Yeah.
Well, it got a lot of people sort of, oogling and googling at the same time. It's nice to sort of know how other people set their studio space up too, because I think it inspires us. Oh, I like the way so-and-so's put that there, and I wouldn't have thought of doing that. You know what I mean? That sort of stuff is kind of what I like about it. Not necessarily gear jealousy. I mean, obviously we can have a bit of gear jealousy at times, but, life's like that. I remember when I first started getting gear, I used to think to myself, wow, these guys with these synth caves, they're so lucky. I'm like, oops.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened?
Yeah, oops.
Yeah. Anyway,
you lost control, Rans. That's what happened.
I did.
You just lost.
I started
control.
making music again. That's what happened to me. What I was going to say is, let's go to the chatties and see what they're saying about everything. Boom. So, lots and lots of people talking. Good to see a few people joining in. A couple of people I haven't seen before. That's good. iWheel's there. Good on you. Thanks for joining us. We saw your setup before, so I don't know if you saw that or not. Fantastic. So Wagoo's mentioned what those things were in that rack. If you're wondering what they were, all the outboard effects. So you can go check out that in the chat room. Yeah. Now, if you did get a bit too much gas, and you did miss the earlier part of the show, we have the solution for you. It's available now. The gas alert micro 5 is out. This will help you. There's also a I don't give a shit 1-300 number that you can ring as well. They don't care either if you ring them. Anyway, moving right along. We've reached the end of the main show, right? This is the end of the main show. Now, everyone who's in the chat room, don't go anywhere because this is still live. Now, the cool thing about this is we'll continue on with the show. We've got another little section coming up after I roll this end titles. But for those who are watching the replay, this is the end of the show for you guys. I'm sorry. And it's only the replay people that are going to miss out on this. And only the people that live in my Patreon will get to see this if they're watching the replay, that is. For those who are live right now, you're not going to miss out on anything. So let's roll the end. We'll say goodbye, actually, quickly. This is a virtual goodbye. Just a quick goodbye to everyone who's watching the replay. And how sad it is that you're watching the replay. You should be on the live show because this is what's going to happen.
Go play with your Bastls.